Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to dive into what is the most valuable generation to invest in. Information for this video is going to be compiled from the top 100 cards in the Sword and Shield era from TCG Player. I think most of these cards have hit their peak in value for now, so it's a good time to see what future returns can be like for the same Pokemon in future sets in Scarlet and Violet era. Starting off with Gen 1, there are 32 total cards in the top 100, which is the largest number of cards for any generation. Total value of those cards was $2,855 or $89 a card as an average. Most common names: Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Snorlax, Mew. Each had 3 cards. Next up, Gen 2. Gen 2 had a total of 17 cards in the top 100. Total value of those cards are $2,218 or $130 a card. But if you take away the outlier, that is the Moonbreon, the number is nearly cut in half. Total will only be $1,200 at $80 average per card, so similar to Gen 1. The Umbreon has 5 cards out of those 16 that represent Gen 2, so it's a big portion of it. Other big names include Lugia, Tyranitar, Espeon, Unknown, and Blissey are the 2 weakest names in this generation. Next up, we got Gen 3, represented by just 2 Pokemon, Blaziken and Rayquaza, and they really carry some weight because they have 7 total cards that equal $1,123 or $160 per card, which is the highest average on the whole list. Both got Alt-Arts, Trainer Gallery cards, and Rainbow cards in the top 100. But Gen 3 was the last one I played, and I'm kind of sad it didn't have more valuable cards, but you know, it got some cards. It got Salamence and Metagross, they got their Rainbow cards. Those are the pseudo-legendaries. Latios, Latias, I don't think they had any cards, right? Next up, Gen 4. Gen 4 got a lot of love. Total of 22 cards in the top 100, which is the second most after Gen 1. Total value of $2,052 or average of $93. Big hitters include Leafeon, Glaceon, and the Gen 4 legendaries, which got a lot of representation in Alt-Arts, Gold cards, and Rainbow cards, I think. So yeah, they got a lot of love. Now we get to a generation I'm not as familiar with, and it seems to be the case for a lot of people as well, because I assume a lot of people did not play Gen 5 or just don't like Gen 5, because they got no love whatsoever. 3 cards, total worth of only $77 at $26 a card, and I don't know any of these Pokemon. I mean, I've definitely seen them in Pokemon Go, but outside of that, I don't know anything about them. Next up, we got Gen 6, similar boat, only 5 cards, but 4 of those 5 is Sylveon. Those 4 cards of Sylveon total $359, and Noivern is worth $39, so that's like 90% of the value is just Sylveon. Next up, we got Gen 7, barely making this list, with 1 Zoroark Alt-Art, which is actually a very gorgeous looking card. I wish I knew more about that Pokemon. Gotta play Gen 7 soon. And 2 Mimikyu Trainer Gallery cards that just started rising in value, but total value of all these 3 cards only represent $107 or $35 per card. I guess all that hype for the Sun and Moon era cards are just not really about Sun and Moon Pokemon, it's more about the previous generations. So nostalgia always plays a major part, I think. Because we saw the same exact example with Gen 3 where there's only 2 Pokemon that represented the generation, but Blaziken and Rayquaza like 10x the value of what Gen 7 can do with their 2 Pokemon. Now we actually get to the Sword and Shield era Pokemon, which actually had 10 total cards in the top 100. Total value $405 or $39 a card. Now the $39 a card average is still very, very low. Very reminiscent of the most recent generations that we just talked about. Again, the modern generation Pokemon just do not carry much value in their name. And now the Pokemons with the most cards in the top 100 are Pikachu, Snorlax, Mewtwo, Blaziken, Giratina, and Dialga, each having 3 cards in the top 100. Then the next tier is Sylveon, Leafeon, Glaceon, Rayquaza, and Mew with 4 cards each in the top 100. And then the 2 most popular Pokemon you probably guessed, Charizard and Umbreon, each with 5 cards in the top 100. These 13 Pokemon alone represent half the list with 48 cards in the top 100 most valuable cards list. And as you can see on this list, the first 4 generations represent all the value. If you take out Sylveon from Gen 6, that goes down to a $39 average with just 1 card in Noivern. So Gens 5, 6, and 7 are well below $40 in value compared to the first 3 generations, which first 4 generations is close to $100 in value. So yeah, I think that's all about nostalgia. That's all I can see. Pokemon kind of remakes the same Pokemon in just different generations. So let me know if it's the Pokemon design or just the nostalgia effect. Let me know what you guys think the reason is. And is there any Gen 5, 6, or 7 Pokemon that you'll love to see get an illustration rare? I personally will love to see Hydreigon and Haxorus get illustration rares. So hopefully they're in the upcoming Dragon set. But Pokemon is right now, I think, covering all their bases. They got Greninja, which is Gen 6. Gen Pro Forces feature the Source of Justice from Gen 5 legendaries. So I think Pokemon is slowly covering all their bases, and hopefully we get some love from Gen 5, 6, and 7. Also Typhlosion or a Mudkip. Come on, let me get some of those cards get some love, because those were my starters from when I was playing the game. I would love to see them get some art cards. Well guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. This was just a fun video for me to summarize some of my thoughts, and I'll catch you guys next time.